Hi, everybody. Welcome to It's Busy. Here we go. Surprise. I said I wasn't going to have a Thanksgiving episode, and I lied. I didn't lie, but I was talking to Becky, and we were like, oh my gosh. We're going to talk about travel because she travels a lot. So, welcome to episode 594 and happy Thanksgiving to everybody. And welcome, Becky. I'm so glad you're here.
I'm so glad to be here. And I just realized we both have on the color of like a turkey.
I know.
And it wasn't planned.
It's like
This was not planned when I selected my wardrobe this morning.
Isn't it? But it's just this time of year. We're just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And I've been thinking, I'm like, oh my gosh, Becky puts her kids in the car and go, like, last weekend, I'm like, what are you doing? She's going, I'm driving to Skinny Atlas. I'm like, what? 2 weeks before, she was driving to Maine from Philadelphia, which is not an easy drive, especially with 3 little ones. So what do you do to prep to get in the car? What do you do first?
What do I do? I mean, pack their bags. Keep it very, very simple. I mean, like, I don't really have like a laundry list of things I do to quote unquote prep. Because you can always find stuff on the road. You know what I mean? If you forget a toothbrush or whatever, like it's different times. You have such easy access to everything. But each kid gets a backpack and keep it super simple because always a bathing suit because we always go to a hotel that has a pool and the free breakfast where they can make their waffles. But as far as like prepping for the car, a big bag of snacks that's usually at my feet. And, you know,
Well, what about them? Like, what are they doing in the back? Because I know, when I was a kid, I would be back in the car because we drive from St. Louis to Florida. Oh my gosh!
Yep. Did you guys have one of those station wagons where you would like be in the backpack and you would look at the car like you would be backward facing? Do you know what I mean? All the way in the back.
Oh yeah. And not only that, but there were 4 of us, so we would like draw. We would have to draw fake lines in the car.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Do not cross this line.
Well, exactly. Well, I will say, so we have 2 rows, but 3 kids. I mean, a lot of cars today have those pilot seats. So interestingly enough, nobody wants to sit in the backpack. So we have 3 straight across, which is, maybe good for 7 minutes. And then it's like, we have to like do paper, scissors, rock to see who goes in the back. Because 3 across is like, sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes, 7+ hours, somebody has to go in the back. So they take turns. And interestingly enough, when whoever goes in the back, they're like, oh my God, I love it back here. This is all. So then all 3 of them start fighting over the back. So there you go. You just got to wear it like a loose garment.
Now, do you bring them like certain toys or iPads? Like, because I know you are like kind of strict on the iPad thing. So,
I mean, I'm not strict so much as, strict, yes. Like, they don't have iPads a lot, like, for the road, and then we hide them, and then they never ask for them again. Pretty much because we also live in a neighborhood where there's probably tons of kids, so they get distracted. But, yes, they have, like, Vince and Kyla don't have iPads. They have, like, those tablets, and just put a couple of games on them. But, yeah, so that keeps them occupied until those die. And, but do I get them toys and stuff? Coloring, word searches, connect the dots. Ruby is like a real big reader, so she'll read. And then they just make up silly games to play with each other. You know
they
what I mean?
do.
Yes, the 3 of them together. Yeah.
Because I know at one point you were like, Phil, thank God, was like, we're going to leave at 4:00 in the morning.
Oh, yeah, we've done that a couple of times. We're psycho. And we like decide to like do it at like 1:00 in the morning. Phil's like, do you want to just go? I'm like, yeah, let's just do it.
And so you put these 3 little kids in the car.
Yes.
Was it better when it was when you left in the middle of the night, or is it better when you leave at 8 in the morning?
You can argue both sides. So my kids love leaving in the middle of the night since we started doing that years ago. Like, they affiliate it with such fun and such joy. Like, when Phil and I wake each of them up and carry them outside, like, we can't carry them anymore, but like, walk them out. But they affiliate that with such, I think, happy memories, is getting woken up in the middle of the night. So much so that like anytime we go somewhere and we're leaving at like a normal time, they're like, why didn't you wake me up in the middle of the night to go? So they get so excited about that. But, Your question was, is it better? So we've left in the middle of the night a few times. And one time we left in the middle of the night, and of course, you assume that your kids are gonna go right to sleep. And one
Yeah.
of my favorite memories of leaving in the middle of the night is we took Phil's truck, so it was like 3 across, and one of them was a car seat, and, all 3 of them across or whatever, and it's like, 3 o'clock in the morning, and all you hear is Kyla. And then, my other favorite color is, like, pink mixed with blue. Like, she never went to sleep. And you assume they're gonna she just didn't stop talking the whole time. So she never
Now
went to sleep.
and now because you've done this so many times, and if a mom is out there and she's like, "Okay, I already got to where I'm going. Now I
Mhm.
know I have to go home. I have to pile my kids in the car." And you wear life like a loose garment. And so how would you tell this mom who's out there, like, to just relax and not get so anxious? Because I know for me, I get anxious, right? I'm like, "Oh, stop. Don't do this.
What do
Don't
you
do
get
that."
anxious about? Like, what's an example? Like, when you're traveling?
Like, if you're are we if for one, for air is different than going by car for sure, because
For
you
sure.
can't bring everything you want, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
You've traveled all over the world. So, not with your kids yet, but you
Right.
have traveled solely by
Ye
yourself.
yes.
And so, I mean, I just am like, "Oh my gosh, do I have everything?" And
Yeah.
then, Dave will say, "Oh, you can always buy something there. If you forgot,
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
forgot the toothbrush, as you just mentioned, you can get
Right.
that." And then you're just like, "Are they being good? Like, does everybody being good?" I know that people worry about their kids all the time, like, they're crying. They're like, "I'm so sorry they're crying. They're so sorry."
Yeah.
And for me, now as at the other side, I don't
Yep.
even hear the little kids crying. I'm like,
I
I
know.
feel just bad for the mom. I don't even feel
Yeah.
the kid, the child's obviously just uncomfortable and can't communicate that. Where the
Yes.
mom is like, "Oh my gosh, this is so
Well,
embarrassing."
I think today so many things are like a performance because, everyone we have too much information. Like, we know too much. I know, people share so many things today, and that's become normal.
Yeah.
So, but what they share is like like if you open up social media, if you open up everything looks, everyone's homes are perfectly neutral. I'm just giving an example. And so our brains are getting rewired to think that like everything has to be a certain way. Do you know what I mean? And I think getting back to the fact that nothing is that way. And as long as my kids are happy and healthy, if somebody else on an airplane has a problem with my kid, having a hard time, that has nothing to do with me. Has nothing to do with
And
me.
and so you don't get embarrassed by it. And I you know what
Not
I have to
really. That
say?
has taken time. That has taken time. And also too, my kids aren't, like, super little anymore, so they're not, like, haven't they're not in the tantrum phase, really. Um, but, yeah, if other people react in a way where they're, like, impatient with a kid flipping out, it's their reaction's really none of my business, as long as I'm just taking care of my kid in that moment and making sure that, they have what they need, and I'm just meeting them where they are.
Yeah, I love that. Because I do think, and I was thinking about this just recently, and I don't know if I stole this from somebody else because I listen to so much stuff, but I heard that, before Oprah, I have
Yeah.
a puppy running around, you guys,
Yeah.
so if you see me looking around, I'm like, "What is she into?" Um, but prior to Oprah, nobody talked about anything, okay? People
Mhm.
were not coming out like Jerry Springer and telling
Yep.
everybody their life story. It was more like, "I've gotta keep it quiet."
Yeah.
And God says that in
Yes.
many times. He
Yes.
says, "Keep this in your home. Keep it safe. Keep it
Loose lips
sacred."
sink ships.
Oh, totally. I heard that from an attorney, God rest his
Yes.
soul,
Yeah.
many, many big
Yeah.
time attorney many years ago, and I did
Mhm.
not follow his advice, obviously.
Yeah.
But, but it's something that I'm learning now through osmosis. It's like, just like the less you share, the better life is. And
Mhm.
I think comparing yourself to others is the largest thief of joy. And they say that all the time, right? So if you're
Yeah.
sitting here comparing yourself and you're looking at your trip and you're like, I want all my kids to be matching. I want everybody to be like, show
Yeah.
up being
I
perfect.
want them all to have a perfect snack bag with all that's like, no, like, it's you don't need that. That's not reality. It's not. Just be the best. You were selected to be the mom for your kids by God because you're equipped. And if you're not equipped, he's gonna give you opportunities to become equipped.
Yes. I mean, completely. And
Yeah.
so when you are, does Phil pack the car with like, what kind of snacks do you bring?
Oh, Pirates booty, popcorn, you know, because that ends up all over the floor, so that's always good. What kind of snacks do we bring? Kyla's, like, obsessed with applesauce still. What else? I mean, we usually stop on the road too, so the kids usually pick out something.
Do you go to
Um,
Wawa?
we love some Wawa. We love, you know, we get some hoagies. Where were we? We were just in Ithaca this past weekend, and the girls and I were at, like, a deli, and I'm like, "Ruby, do you want your hoagie?" And people looked at me like I had 7 heads. I'm like, "So sorry." They call them, you know, we don't call them hoagies up there. I'm like, "Yep."
They call them heroes, right?
They call them heroes or subs, I don't know. But I'm like, "Do you want your hoagie?" Like, straight out of Philly. They're like, "What are you talking?"
Philly in the house. So this Thanksgiving, what are you guys doing that's different?
This Thanksgiving, so we're making a cake. So that's different. We're doing this new tradition where they pick something that they want to make. We're cooking all of the food and we're doing like a Friendsgiving. Our neighbors are having, they called it turkey and touchdowns. So they're having like a big football game out in the neighborhood and all the kids are going. Um, and so whatever, they'll have drinks and donuts and breakfast stuff and all of that. And then we're going to the movies. The 5 of us, we're going to see Zootopia 2. And interestingly enough, I went and got the tickets last night,
Yeah.
and you have to buy your tickets in advance, I guess, because whatever, you have to pick your seats. There's, like, no seats left. What does that tell you? Yep.
That is
I got,
crazy.
like, the last 5 seats all next to each other that, like, aren't in the front row. Isn't
Right.
that
Oh
crazy?
my gosh.
Yeah. I was telling Phil, I'm like, "Phil, I thought it was gonna be, like, empty." Nope. Packed.
Oh my
Isn't
gosh,
that
that is I
Yeah.
love that idea because it's definitely less stressful to go
Yeah.
to a movie, right? You're not, like, running around I'm dealing with this puppy, you guys, because
I know, you're doing a
eating
great job. She sure does love
she
you.
was just eating an electric cord, so I'm just gonna say that, sorry. I was like, "What are you gonna kill yourself right now. Just let's be a good girl, Ellie." I was gonna lock her up, but I just brought her in, and that was not smart of me.
Yeah, just
But,
roll with it.
yeah, traveling with dogs over the holidays. See,
I
that's
was
we're
gonna
not
say,
going anywhere.
you could speak to that, yeah.
Yeah,
So that's what we're doing, and we're
it's
just gonna have
gonna
some
be
turkey,
chill.
chill, and then we've got, friends coming over Friday just hanging, you know, and the kids as long my kids are so happy and they're so excited, and that's everything. Like, I was thinking this morning, like, last week this is just a random little bit of a tangent, but, um, I mentioned this a little bit to you yesterday. Vince, my son, had a wrestling tournament at Ithaca. And, so we went up for the weekend, and, on Saturday, his wrestling tournament was all day, and it was like a team thing, so he was on a team, and it's a lot of, like it's a long day. So the girls and I didn't go, we just met up with Phil and Vince after, and so we didn't have a car, Phil took the car, and thankfully, we were in a hotel where, like, you could walk everywhere, and, it turned out to be the best day, and, like, it was completely this kinda goes with your topic, it was completely unplanned.
See, I
I did
love
not
that.
wake up that morning and say, "Okay, girls, this is what" like, I we went up there thinking that I was gonna go to the wrestling tournament all day, like, but I was just it just didn't pan out that way, and also Phil was like, "Well, we have a buy at a certain time, I'll come back and give you the car," and I was like, "You know what? We're good." But my point is that we woke up with 0 plan to do this, but it turned out to be such a great day that it's probably one of the days for the rest of my life I'll tuck inside my heart, and I don't need to so I get hopefully that goes with your topic, like, we didn't plan it.
Well, I
So
love that, but
we woke up Go
are
ahead.
you like Nanny McPhee? I always like to call it Nanny McPhee, or Mary Poppins, who had this huge bag. Like, I always felt like I had a huge bag. It was called my bag of tricks, and
Yeah.
I would be able to pull things out, like I had Uno and, well, like,
Yeah,
all different things to keep them entertained, and I know I said Uno because I know that you guys
that's what
played
we ended
Uno.
up Yeah.
Do you keep that in your purse all the
No,
time?
that's a great question. So this is how our day panned out. So the girls and I was like, "Phil, we're good. We don't need the car. We can walk to, like" there was, like, 9,000 places to walk to. So we walked and got my girls love bubble tea, boba tea, whatever it's called, and it's a special treat. It's a very, very special treat. So I'm like, "Let's go get boba tea." So we walked, like, probably a mile to go get the boba tea, and it wasn't super cold, and the 3 of us held hands, and we went and got our boba tea, and they were so excited, like, the smile on their face when they got their boba tea was like it was a special treat, And then we went and got our nails done, and then we walked over to a deli where we got our quote unquote hoagies. And then we walked to the dollar store and we got Uno and we got Trouble and we got Apples to Apples and we got a deck of cards. And we walked back to the hotel where they had a really nice lobby, like where you could sit. Oh, and we got snacks and drinks. But the memory was walking back to the hotel, it started to get really cold. And the three of us all just held hands and screamed Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, like 27 renditions. But the joy, that was never planned. God takes care of us. He's picked you to be these kids' moms. You know what I mean? And so in that moment,
Yes.
you just let go a little bit more. And that's where the miracles happen. Not holding so tight to stuff because then you don't have the surprises. Like that was what a sweet surprise. And like now it was just such a special day. And in the lobby, all we did was have our snacks and play Uno and for hours. And Phil was like, "Are you guys okay? I can bring the car back." I'm like, "We are so good." You know,
So do you contribute your sobriety to the ability to be able to be so calm?
110%. 110. It's the greatest thing that's ever happened to me is this program. Um, yeah, I mean, it's a reflective week for a lot of us. And I reflect on that a lot. Like, I mean, these three kids and this, I don't, yeah, it's just changed. It's given me a life beyond my wildest dreams and a toolkit that works for everybody, whether you're an alcoholic, a drug addict, anything, shopaholic. Like, it works, but it's a daily reprieve based upon my spiritual condition. So when you and I started this morning and we got on the phone, the first thing I was like, I need to center because the
Yeah,
world's so
and
loud,
counting.
especially
Yeah.
Thanksgiving week. More, 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 more. Here, get this. Oh, this will be at your doorstep in 37 seconds. Oh, look what so and so's doing. Oh, look what this person's doing. And it's like, and once I recenter, it's like, oh my God, but I have these three kids. They're healthy. We have a, we live in a beautiful home. They're happy. They have 2 legs that work. My kids aren't, they don't have special needs where I have to get them out of a wheelchair, all of these things. But recentering is, um, a practice that when I do that throughout the day, many, many times, because the world is so loud, it works.
Mhm.
That's one of
Mhm.
my favorite paragraphs in the big book is it works, it really does. It's one little paragraph. But, like,
It
the big
is.
book is what? How many pages? I don't even know, I should know, 477 or
Yeah,
something?
yeah. But all the back is
All
stories,
the
right?
backstories,
It's
yeah,
100 I think it's 163 pages
64.
is the
Yeah,
first part.
160. Yeah.
164 pages is literally and, I think that knowing that we can pause,
Yes.
um, I love John Eldridge. I don't know if anybody listens to Wild of Heart,
Mhm,
podcast with John Eldridge. Love him, and
mhm.
he has a free app where it's just like, take a pause for a minute, and
Yeah.
it literally they talk about just give everything to God at that moment, and I
Yes.
think when we do that, if you're rushing through an airport, if you're have to get out of somebody's house that you don't really wanna be at anymore, and you're like, "My kids are not being great, and I'm with all my family, and I feel like I'm being judged, and it feels terrible." I've just gotta pause and keep moving. And
And you're
so
allowed to leave, but you have to do it in a loving way. Do you
okay,
know what I
so
mean?
tell us that. I wanna finish up with 3 tips for people. Okay, for one, if you're about the person's listening to this, they are prepping to go to whatever dinner they're going to right now. They have their kids, they have their outfits, they're all ready to go, and they are like, "Oh my gosh," and they don't drink or
Mhm.
they realize they've got a bad relationship with alcohol. What do you say to them and how do they get out?
Um, so first things first, if you're not in a good space and you're newly sober and you're going to a place where there's a lot of drinking, or you're going to a place where you have relationships with your family of origin or with your extended family, where it's like you don't feel good when you're around that person or those people, you can leave. You don't have to go. And I think so often today, with Thanksgiving and Christmas, you think you have to put yourself in these like perfect little, you can put yourself around people where you feel good. Um, So, that's my first thing, but if you do put yourself around that, um, you can make a decision to leave. You can go late and leave early, and you don't owe an explanation to anybody. Um, but the way that you leave is where the magic is. You have to do it in a loving and kind way. It's not like abrupt, like, we're out of here. You guys are crazy. You're nuts. Da 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 da. Point the finger, point the finger. It's just, hey, we're going to get going. This was so nice. Got to go because you want to protect your own peace, which we all work so hard to maintain on a daily basis. So I'm not going to hand that peace to anybody by reacting like that. Um, but the third is bring God
Well, I
with
have
you.
to say, I want to share and give you, because I remember you saying this to me, and I think it was so great. I remember you saying to me, like, the way I get through these things is I get to work. So you clear the table,
Oh, yeah.
you
Stay
do the
busy.
dishes.
Yes. Yes. And I think it says this in the big book as well. If you're going to a place where there is drinking, be of service. Find somewhere where you can be of service. And that doesn't necessarily need to be doing the dishes or helping to clean up or any of that stuff. It could be listening to somebody else without talking. Listening to
Ah,
somebody else, giving them that space to share what they're going through because everybody's going through something. And all of us are in different places when we're going through that something, whatever that is. So somebody might be arriving at that Thanksgiving dinner table at the beginning of a healing journey and it's pretty rough and it's pretty
yeah,
raw and they feel like naked almost like oh shit, this stuff is hard. This is hard. You're in that. You're not on the other side by any means. Listen to that person. Go and listen. And you get perspective and you realize, like, I think also too, when we're getting sober, we think we're like so unique and nobody understands me. I'm going through this. This is really heavy. Like, close your mouth, open your ears, and just listen to somebody
mm,
else. And it gets us out of self and you don't need to give advice. Like, I hate that. Like, I don't have advice, but I can share my experience. I can share what I do. And all of us just want to be heard. So just go listen to somebody else.
I love that.
Phil and I just I was telling you this, we went to visit his aunt and uncle on Sunday in Ithaca, and they've been married for 63 years. They're 82 years old, and, his uncle took the kids out, like, to their hiking not their hiking, their hunting trails. So I was with his aunt, and I just loved asking her questions because 'cause she's been through it. She's been through so much. I loved asking her, "What are some of the hard things you've gone through?" And, like, her answer is you know what her answer was?
What?
Don't get rattled. Nothing's worth it. Don't get rattled." I'm like, "Oh my god, that's it." But I love like, that was so great to be able to just listen. I had so many questions for her because she has such a full life. She's been through everything, and she's been married since, she had her first kid when she was 18. She's got 4 kids. Like, she's been through it, and she has a lot to teach me, and I loved listening to her.
I love that.
Yeah, so
That
listen.
is a great way to finish the show and know that, you guys are out there and you have an elderly person at the table. And rather than looking at them like, oh my gosh, they're an older person, go over and ask them questions. I think we're in a different time where it's the human. Like, what was your experience like? Nobody wants to know that because we can look it up on the computer on our hand
Yeah,
that we carry around all day that gives us the answer. So
yeah.
rather than that, like, go and talk to somebody. I
Oh,
think
there's so many great stories. So many great stories.
that's what I love about history, the
Yeah.
stories. The stories are
Yes.
fabulous.
Yes.
But I think it's so funny because my favorite movie, is Home for the Holidays during Thanksgiving because, what's her name? Holly Hunter goes home and
Mhm.
she's, like, dreading it, and it's just and Robert Downey Jr.'s in it. It's got an amazing cast. I think Dylan McDermott's in it and everything, but I love that movie, but the best line of that entire movie is, like,
Uh-huh.
why God gives us Thanksgiving, and 5 minutes later we have Christmas, and it's so
It's
true.
so true. It's like, yeah, that's the other thing. We're like, okay, we got to start decorating for Christmas on. It's just like, I double dog dare you to leave your Thanksgiving decorations out until like, I don't know, December 15th. Leave your own trail. Be crazy. Don't do what all the neighbors are doing. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I've had my Christmas tree up since before Halloween because my husband was sick of falling over it in our storage unit. He's like, "I'm putting it up and we're done with this tree." I'm like, "Okay." Becky, this was
I
so
just wanted to
great.
say too, I remember being at your house for Thanksgiving in 2021 and you
Yeah,
guys had the Christmas stuff up then.
I know.
And I just want to share too, I'll end it with this, like that was probably my favorite Thanksgiving ever.
Well,
And
we're
that
gonna do it again. You guys
and
are coming to
also
hot Florida.
for sure. But I wanted to say that wasn't planned.
No.
That wasn't planned, and that is one of my favorite memories. So just letting go.
Right? And I
Letting
and
go.
I have people that are coming that have nowhere else to go.
That
They
is the
can't go
best.
home, right? They can't come home. We've got enough plates. We got enough
Yes,
everything to come on
that's what
over.
it's all about. That's what it's
Right?
all
Just
about.
having strangers over. I mean, not strangers, but you know what I
Yeah,
mean,
I know what
places.
you mean. They're
Yeah.
strangers, but they're not.
They're not. They're
Mhm,
amazing and they're so
mhm.
grateful.
Yes,
And
they are.
I'm so grateful for you, and I'm
Yeah,
so grateful
I'm
that
so
I
grateful for
know
you.
that you are gonna come back in December and you're gonna talk about all this
I'm gonna talk
Christmas
about
stuff.
my shopping sprees for my kids.
You're gonna talk about what you can but I do want you to talk about, like, maybe giving people some tips. If you're out there and you're listening and you're like, "I wanna know what Becky's doing," because Becky's so zen, she's in the middle of the bed all the time, I have to tell you. I mean, maybe not all the time, but a
Not
lot
all
of
the
the
time.
time.
I mean, yeah.
She is human.
Yeah.
But what tips and stuff that you're gonna do? So you guys, make sure you tune into that, and I hope that everybody has a blessed Thanksgiving, including you, Beck. Love you so
Yes, I
much.
love you
I'm
so much. Happy
grateful for
Thanksgiving
you.
to everybody. Keep it simple, silly.
Yep. Keep it
Keep it
simple,
simple.
silly. Until
Yeah.
next time, you guys take care. I'll be back on Monday. And remember, you are never alone. Take care, everybody. Bye. Thanks for listening. And please subscribe wherever you're listening to this podcast. Or if you're watching me on YouTube, press subscribe. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.